Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 37. My name is Andrew, and as always, joined today by Josh and Will. Today on the episode, we're going to be talking about New Year's Eve weekend roundup. We're going to talk about some golf stuff. There's a funny story that came out of the Masters. We're going to go into what are we watching. I think we all watched Glass Onion, so I've been really excited. I watched it last night. I'm really excited to talk about that. I have a couple other things I want to talk about.
Will just shook his head. He hasn't watched it.
You're just assuming things.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this. I thought you watched Glass Onion.
I want to watch Glass Onion. I haven't watched it yet.
Damn it. All right, well, that's okay. And then we're going to move into our stand-up segment to close out the podcast. Hey, so weekend roundup, New Year's Eve weekend. We are in 2023 now. Will, did you do anything fun or?
Apparently, I'm the New Year's Scrooge. So,
yes, last year we discovered this.
No, I didn't do anything. Very low key weekend. Met up with some friends on Saturday for lunch at Chili's.
Chili's,
the greatest restaurant chain to ever exist. Had a great meal, a good little steak, some chips and salsa. And then Marissa and I went home and we cleaned the whole apartment because it's bad luck to start the new year with a dirty room or a dirty apartment. So we cleaned the whole apartment, deep cleaned it, so that felt good. And then we watched the ball drop and immediately went to bed after. So that was New Year's for Will.
I've got two responses to that. One, I have not put away a single thing I got for Christmas. It's just all scattered all over my room in boxes right now.
Man,
my room is a freaking disaster right now. So didn't know it was
I
bad
want to
luck.
say that makes sense because as we saw from your picks last week, right? I mean, you're not very good luck right now.
Pool. I also lost every single bet I had on the college football playoff games.
I'm telling you right now, like if I wanted to become a millionaire this year, all I'd have to do is get a budget of probably $5 or $10 grand and hedge every single one of Colucci. Just fade Colucci on every bet.
You'd be rich right now. It's disgusting what's happening to me. I am the worst. Second thing, I got a huge fight with my friend. Shout out Barrera. I know he listens to the podcast because he was trying to tell me that the 99 was better than Chili's and it wasn't even close.
No.
So we got
no.
into a
I think there are
big
some.
fight about
There's a select few dishes from 99 that definitely compete with some of the food at Chili's, but the environment and the atmosphere of a 99 is 10,000 times less than Chili's.
Yeah,
Wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
like because I used to get this like buffalo chicken on ciabatta bread, and I got it like every week for like I don't know 4 years
at the 99.
Yeah, and Andrew was there with me many of those times.
Yeah.
I really loved that sandwich, man. Really loved it.
Is this the 99 in North Attleboro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because that thing looks ancient. So
Yeah,
I would
is.
assume that's the one you were going
It
to.
is. It is ancient, and that's the thing. It's like the inside is like kind of like the atmosphere is very like panic attacky atmosphere. You know, like I don't even know how to describe that place. But
I think we've both had panic attacks inside.
I
that
did.
99.
Actually, one of the times I had taken Adderall. Actually, the second or third time and it was the last time actually that I'd ever taken Adderall. That I had a panic attack inside the 99.
Don't take Adderall and go to 99.
Yeah, I mean, my heart was beating at 200 beats per minute, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck's happening to me?
Just like no appetite at all.
Yeah, like meanwhile, I had like a textbook in the left hand, like just fucking reading and like having a panic attack at the same time, like I'm a monster.
I've definitely been too baked inside the 99 and had a panic attack. So yeah, the 99 is just it's a dark memory, but Chili's is way better.
Chili's,
so
yeah.
Go Chili's.
I did build one of the Lego flower bouquet sets on Sunday. I got that for Christmas. That was one of my gifts from my mom. And it actually came out it looks really nice. Like from a distance, it kind of looks like real flowers.
Really?
So I put them in a vase. And the best part about it is you don't have to fucking water them,
Yeah, it's unreal.
So it was fun. It took Marissa and I like an hour and a half, but we blazed through it. And shout out Mom for that gift.
Did you follow the instructions or did you? Just
I followed the instructions.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Didn't you tell me you used to be able to build the Star Destroyer without the instruction book?
No, I rebuilt a good portion of the Star Wars gunship without.
Gunship.
No, and it was without. You have the instructions, but you don't have all the pieces together. So you'd take the instructions and you'd have to like locate all the pieces. You have to break Legos apart and rebuild, but you can't really do it without. You'd have to be a fucking boy genius to do that.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'll say that I had a mellow New Year's Eve. I'm with you. I actually was more focused on what I was going to do this week as like, 2023, how am I going to improve, like we talked about in the last podcast, then I really gave a fuck about the ball drop. Like, I didn't spend any money on New Year's Eve. I didn't go out. I didn't like buy into the trap. And I also didn't get drunk. Granted, I had a fever of 101 degrees, but I actually spent the whole night watching something that I'll get into in the what are we watching section.
Okay,
and my father, as like he bought it like a week, like a month before, but he actually got me this absolutely unreal Lego. He got me a Batman tumbler, 2,500 piece set.
Ooh,
big old boy. You know the tumbler?
What's a tumbler?
The Dark Knight tumbler. The Batmobile.
Oh, the motorcycle, the Batmobile that turns into the motorcycle.
Yes, but the full thing. I mean, not the motorcycle. It's the full thing.
Does the motorcycle come with it?
It's a Lego, so I haven't opened it up. I don't know what features it has yet, but it's big. It's like it was that or the Star Destroyer. And the Star Destroyer, I think, was like $600. So he was like, I'm not getting that for you yet.
Yeah, the bouquet one was 1,800 pieces, but it was really small pieces. So that's
1,800 pieces?
Yeah, for the bouquet, but
That's
it was a lot
pretty
of
big.
small pieces. So it was really like I had to tap out a couple times and have Marissa do certain parts because my hands are just too big. I'm just like crushing these fake flowers.
Did
while
you
I'm
do it
trying
on
to
a
build
table
them.
or did you do it on the floor?
Table?
You have to, because I learned a long time ago when I was a kid that like I think a lot of my back problems came from like 15-hour benders on Legos bent over, you know?
Yeah. I mean, luckily our Christmas tree took place of our dinner table. So we didn't have a dinner table for like 2 or 3 months. So this was good timing. And I had to wrap all my Christmas gifts on the floor. And my back literally felt like it was going to snap after like maybe an hour.
Right.
I didn't wrap my Christmas presents that I got for everybody until Christmas morning because I was so lazy. But anyways, I don't even know the last time I built a Lego set. I'm pretty bummed about that.
Well, as long as you're ready to take
now.
out an SBA loan to get your first Lego set.
Is that because of COVID that they went up so big?
Dude, it's like the hottest toy in the world. There's no toy right now that I can think of that even comes close to competing with Legos. Even Nerf guns, I don't even think are at the level that Lego is at.
Nerf guns are fun for like 30 minutes and then they lose their power.
Right, and the other thing about Legos is that they've done something that very few toys can do, is that they transpired the female-male gap / age gap even.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of toys that like don't, like a Slinky. They're the dumbest toys in the whole world. Like
Slinky is for a mindless human.
It's or at least like even if you do like it, it's a 10-minute toy and then you throw it away. But the Legos is like, you've got kids who are growing up their whole lives collecting, and like they become worth tens of thousands of dollars, some of them, if you hold on to them. So, I mean, I can enjoy them at 25. A little girl can enjoy them at age 5 or whatever. You know, it's just the range.
Didn't you have a selling Lego disaster? Didn't your mom sell you some of your Lego?
Yeah, she did. She let me sell it. I was running really low on funds, and this is back before I was, like doing anything for work. And she let me, I just explored on Craigslist, and I like met up with some guy to sell 2 big, huge, massive crates that I had taken from over the span of my life. And I sold them for like $50 or $70 or something. And it had probably like multiple gunships, multiple turbo tanks, a bunch of sets like crazy. Right now I've actually I had one bin that I kept left over, and I was able to relocate some, and then I bought some more over time. So I actually have a pretty decent collection. I bet my minifigure collection's worth a couple grand.
Yeah, probably. I've seen it before. It's insane.
That's like nightmare fuel for me. I had like a huge Pokemon collection when I was in like 4th and 5th grade, and I felt like I was starting to get to that age where I was like, I'm not into this anymore. All right, guys. And my mom is a teacher. She was a 5th grade teacher at the time, and I sold this massive book of Pokemon cards to this kid for like $100. And I'm so glad that I don't remember what was in there, because if I knew that I had certain cards in there, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah. It bothers me so much that my mom let me do that. Like, she made me save one.
Well, it's not like she would ever know. She wouldn't know the price of Legos.
The thing is, Andrew, is like of all the toys that I played with over my life, that was the only one that stuck.
True.
There was no other toy. Like the Nerf guns, we fucked around with Nerf guns when we got to high school a couple times, but like in the airsoft guns even, but like there's nothing cute about an airsoft gun. There's nothing cute about
those are just dangerous.
They're just they're just either dangerous or they're just like guns. Like people don't fuck with that. But Legos that you can't buy.
It's a timeless toy.
Well, that's the other thing, Will. To your point, being timeless, many of those Legos they've been out of production for 15 years.
Yeah.
So like buying them now, you have to spend like 5 times the price you did originally, and they're most of the time they're used. They're not even or already built or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is tough scenes in the Lego industry right now.
Let's hear about Colucci's. Colucci actually had a New Year's weekend, I believe.
Yeah, we did. So we started. It was not only was it New Year's Eve, but it was the college football playoffs, which is the top 4 teams in the country. On New Year's Eve, they go 1 seed versus 4 seed, 2 seed versus 3 seed. This year it was on New Year's Eve because they didn't want to do it on Sunday because of the NFL. So we decided to go to a sports bar in Boston for the early game, the 4 o'clock game, and then we were going to ride that right into our New Year's Eve party, which was just a small gathering at my friend's apartment. It wasn't anything crazy. But the boys got after it at lunch, and we ended up being a little late to the party and also showed up like half in the back. But it was still a great night. But a funny part was that the second game kicked off at 8 p.m., and it was an unbelievable game we were watching at this apartment. And the game came down to the closing field goal as time was expiring. Ohio State was trying to kick a field goal to win the game. If they missed it, the game was over. They lost because they were down by 1. It timed up perfectly with the ball drop. So the person who was hosting the party grabbed the remote and tried switching to the ball drop because everybody at the party, like all the girls at the party, like, oh, we want to watch the ball drop, And so he switched off right before the kick happened and couldn't get to the channel in time. So we missed the ball drop and the final kick. And he missed the kick and lost the game, and then we missed the ball drop. So that was pretty funny.
Can't have your cake and eat it too, Colucci.
Yeah. But it was a great New Year's Eve day and night. We watched, and then me and my friend just watched football all day on Sunday, so it was awesome.
I fucking hate New Year's Eve. I'm officially on. I'm not even like he was more of like a positive Scrooge. I'm just a straight up Scrooge now. I don't give a fuck. I hate New Year's Eve.
I don't even know how much we spent in Ubers. It was
the cost, dude. I looked up Royale. I wanted to go to Royale. I wanted to go to a club. I would have gone alone if I had to. Like I wanted to fucking go to a club. $290 to get in the door.
Yeah, no. It's like that. I posted a meme the other day and it was like, come on, bro, please come out. Like the drinks will be $20 and the Uber there is only $200 and there'll be $300 to get home. Come on, bro, please.
Yeah. So fuck New Year's Eve. I think it's the biggest like trap out of all the holidays out there.
I think Valentine's Day is.
Valentine's Day, at least it's like a get laid holiday though. Like at least you can spend money and like you're doing it on someone you care about most of the time or somebody that you want to care about or whatever. Like New Year's Eve is just like you show up, you're like $500 deep before you even walk in the door because of what he said, the Ubers and all that. Then you spend another $500 on drinks and food. And what do you really have to show for it?
It's like a drinking holiday.
You never even remember the fucking ball drop.
Yeah. People are going to go out and they're like, oh, champagne, and then they don't remember it. And not even that I have a problem with drinking like that, but I'm just saying like it's just a wasteful holiday. Like what's the benefit of it? You know, like Turkey Day or I just said it. Thanksgiving is the turkey day. People get to eat a food that they don't eat a lot in the year, you know, like get to see family and whatnot. Christmas, it's the giving holiday and the receiving holiday. And that's a consumer trap too, but at least you're getting something that has value and you're spending time with loved ones. New Year's Eve, you don't even really spend time with loved ones. You just
burn money.
You just burn money.
It's like a worse St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and I love St. Patrick's Day.
I fucking love St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day is great, yeah. Again, just a drinking holiday, but you don't spend outrageous amounts of money.
Yeah.
There was a thing at the New Year's party that I went to. A darts tournament broke out because it's just a little apartment, so we had to like figure out something to do. So we did a big like round robin darts tournament. I only lasted one game, and you know how like when you play cricket, you have to knock off each number 3 times, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And Will, I think you've played with us a couple times.
I have no idea any of the darts games.
We didn't even get by the 20. We crumbled. My team crumbled. It was horrible. We were the laughing stock of the party, but it was.
I'm a big fan of darts, dude. We went to that was one of the most fun I've had in a while.
Flight
actually,
Club in Boston.
When we went to Flight Club, like that. Look, if you're not going to go out to a club or like a live show or something that you're really involved with, that's such a great activity to do. Like you're not going to meet girls that way, but it is a great time if you have a good group of friends to go with. Because, man, we went, and Topgolf. I told you that. Topgolf owns Flight Club.
Yeah.
which is so interesting that they just are buying assets like that and just you don't even know about it. But
It's smart. It's the activity bar. It's what I've been saying. A bar just opened up in Boston because paddleball bar just opened up in Providence.
Pickleball?
Pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm fucking wrong 3 times in a row.
Pickleball is on the come up right now
it
too.
is.
Yeah.
Huge hearing about
I
pickleball.
I see like a lot of cool like trendy companies now like come out with their own pickleball rackets.
Yeah, Tom Brady's a huge investor in now too. It's
Really?
wild. It's wild. Yeah, they're doing like a
They're
whole
popping up at a
professional-
lot of country clubs too.
Yeah.
They had like 5 pickleball courts at that course I went to in New Jersey.
It's also like kind of like a shuffleboard thing, you know? Like shuffleboard was big for like a couple of years back in like 2017, 2018. There's a place in Brooklyn. It's called like Royal Palm Shuffleboard Club. And you go there and it's like basically like a bar club, but you play shuffleboard.
Really?
Yeah, you like rent a cabana.
I love that, dude. I love the games are the thing that make it sort of enjoyable, right? Like it's the games, the camaraderie. It just changes the aspect.
Unless you get too worked up and then you're sweating balls.
Well, that's the
inside
thing, right? Is like that's why darts is so good because it's one of the few that doesn't require that. Even like ping pong, I get so fucking sweaty when I play ping pong, dude. Like,
There's
I
a ping
heat
pong
it up.
bar. There's a ping pong bar in Boston. Yeah.
I'm out. Pool is one of them, but the pool's too boring. Like darts is fast paced. Everybody, you're throwing a projectile. Like it's a very different experience than like tapping a pool ball.
I
tap.
I like pool. I wish
No, I like pool too,
always
but
wish
it's
I was
different.
better, but I'm fucking horrible.
Like it's not as viral, you know. Like that's like a gentleman's old man fucking game too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but yeah, paddleball is on the come up. Pickleball is on the
You ever
come
done that? What's the one inside of the rooms?
Oh,
the
racquetball.
Racquetball.
Where
you ever
just
done
smash it against
No,
the
that
wall.
looks dangerous. I don't like that.
What?
It
I've
looks
done it.
so painful.
Have you done it well?
Yeah, not like competitively. Like we used to belong to this place called Courthouse Plus, and they had racquetball courts there and like pools and shit.
Yeah.
But I would just go into the racquetball court like before I left every time and just whack the ball as hard as I can. into
Was
the
it
walls.
fun?
Oh yeah, I mean you sweat, like you hit the ball as hard as you can. Like,
I'd love to try.
I don't know
playing.
any of the rules, you know, other than hit it really hard at
It's
the
not
wall.
that hard of a ball, is it? Isn't it kind of like a bouncy ball?
It's kind of like a bouncy ball, like a less bouncy ball.
Right.
I think. Yeah.
I think that would hurt.
Gucci, I think the ball's hollow. Like I don't think it.
I think it'll sting still. Do you know how hard it? Have you ever seen it been played?
Yeah, of
at
course,
Fort
yeah.
Court, they play all the time.
Yeah.
I used to watch through the window. It looked insane.
Same here when I went
Yeah.
to tennis lessons.
Yeah, it looked insane. Anyways, that's about it. Gonna wrap up for the weekend roundup. Move into some golf stuff here. There's a really cool / funny story that happened with the Masters. So I didn't know this, but the Masters sends out invitations to the players via physical mail, which pretty dumb, especially in the year 2023. But you know, the Masters, they're all classical and all that stuff. There's a golfer named Scott Stallings. Scott Stallings. He did enough to qualify for the Masters, so he was going to get invited. There is another Scott Stallings, whose wife's name is also Jennifer, who also lives in the Georgia area, just like the professional golfer, who got invited to play in the Masters. They sent the mail to the wrong Scott Stallings, and it perfectly lined up. Same wife, same geographical location. And so this Scott Stallings, like, he was getting all sad. He's like, because he saw everybody online, all the professional golfers posting their invites to the Masters. He's like, damn, I thought I did enough to qualify.
He's literally like checking his mailbox for like 5 days straight. Like, where the fuck is this
Yeah.
invite?
Turns out he found a DM in his Instagram, and it was Scott Stallings 2, who was blowing up his message like, yo, I have your invite to the Masters.
Oh, so he didn't try to play in it.
No.
That would have been electric if he tried to play in it.
He
that
just
would've
showed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's like, you're not Scott.
He like showed up and like hit like a 150, dude. At the Masters.
Tops the ball off the first tee.
That would be so electric if he did that. Wow,
would've been awesome.
That was a little bit.
So he reached out, and now Scott Stallings, the golfer, is arranging for him and his wife to come out to the Masters and watch the practice rounds, and they're all going to go get dinner together. So kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I think he should be allowed to go to the actual Masters, but
Yeah, I was seeing like all the comments on like the posts were like, get this guy to the Masters, like get this guy like a
yeah,
3-day
not the
pass.
fucking
Yeah.
practice round.
Yeah,
Like,
who gives a shit
come
about
on.
that?
That's fucking bullshit.
Let him walk the grounds during the practice round if you're gonna like bring him there for that, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of a funny story coming out of the golf world. Anyone else got anything else?
I have
For
some
golf,
stuff, yeah.
I got nothing. No.
All right, so I have some good stuff.
Back to the fun facts.
It's a mixture of fun facts and things to talk about. But here's a crazy thing. Believe it or not, from 1457 to 1744, golf was actually banned 3 times in Scotland.
For what reasons?
Get this. This is actually kind of wild. Golf was banned 3 times because golf was interfering with military training. Because so many people in Scotland at the time wanted to play golf that they were neglecting their training in military camps. So and the nation was actually under attack around this time. So people were opting in to play golf and refuting their service to the military. So the king at the time, because there's a king, actually stepped in and banned golf across the country.
That's insane.
And so there's actually it's kind of wild. There's a dark black past of this era where golf was actually prohibitioned, where instead of alcohol, people would have to hide to play golf. And they did it in rogue places in Scotland.
That's awesome.
Pretty wild,
Ah,
right?
it sounds like the PGA commissioner we have now.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. How many balls lost a year in the world? Take a guess.
Oh my God.
Every year.
A billion.
No. 3.5 million.
Are you fucking serious, Colucci?
Why is your answer always 3.5 million?
Yeah, but even more so, what do you think? Every golfer in the world is a scratch golfer, dude? I mean,
oh, you're saying it's too low.
You think only 3 point? There's 70 million golfers there's 90 million golfers in the world, active on course golfers in the world, not counting for new golfers or Top Golf. And you say 3.5 million balls.
So when
lost.
I brushed off him saying a billion, he's closer.
He's far, far and beyond closer than you are.
What?
Dude, you gotta think 90 million golf. That might even be more. There might be, let's just say 100 million golfers. If 100 million golfers lose 50 balls a year, what's that? I'm not doing math right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's way more than a billion.
You don't even have to. Well,
I don't think it's more than a billion.
All right, before you get ahead of yourself, before you keep going up, Colucci, the number is 300 million on average.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, I'm technically closer than Will was.
I know, but you're really not. A billion was a much more in the ballpark guess. Because you went so low that it's the math, you could have done some very basic math in your head to have figured out, hey, in the U.S., we know this because we started a golf company. There's 30 to 60 million golfers. So we're assuming that basically
nobody has ever lost a ball.
Then basically 5% of us hit a ball out in a year. That.
When you put it like that, yeah, I guess it makes more
sense. But anyways, I won't beat up on you too much about that, Kaluch. Good guess.
That is 2 straight.
GG's. We get him next time, Kaluch. Here's a crazy stat. Not a very popular stat. I wasn't sure if I should include it, but I think it's pretty polarizing, this stat in golf. It took 400 years for women to be able to play golf. 400.
Legally allowed?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Not legally allowed. I literally think that it was a male-driven sport since its origins, and they just weren't allowed at clubs to play. And the first known woman to play golf was a queen. I didn't write it down, but it was queen of whatever. And it was actually a scandal because her husband died. That she was spotted playing at a golf course, and her husband died the next day. So there was a whole scandal over the first woman who ever played golf, or at least got caught playing golf, and she happened to be a queen of the nation.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was, I want to say, I'm not sure which queen or what nation it was. My facts aren't.
Was it Scotland?
I thought, but I don't think it was. I think it was because I thought it was Britain, but I'm not sure.
That would be some serious karma. You ban golf 3 times and then you die. Your wife goes out and plays it, and then you die the next day.
Yeah, that's factual.
That's the way the world works.
Funny. You're more likely to be hit by a car than to hit a hole-in-one.
Yeah, I can buy that. We said it last week. It was like 1 in 12,500 shots.
1 in 12,000. So your odds of getting hit by a car are
That makes
greater than
sense.
1 in 12,000.
Sometimes I have a bad day and just want to go play in traffic. So
How many dimples on a golf ball? Take a guess.
3.5 million.
Fuck you. I'm gonna guess
3.5. 3.5 million. That's my favorite guess ever.
fuck.
Go ahead, Colucci. 3.5 something, right?
475.
You know what? I'll change it. That's a great guess. There's actually a range because every golf ball is different. But
I'm just gonna go with like 1,000. I don't know. That maybe seems too high.
That is too high. The number is 300 to 500.
All right, so I had it. I won.
I think the difference is that you notice on some golf balls, there's a small dimple inside of 5 other dimples.
Right.
I think those are the balls that average.
500.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right.
That's it.
Those are good
Nice.
facts.
That wraps up, yeah.
Were those from coolfacts.com or?
You mean
Facts.net.
facts.com? Yeah,
Facts.net.
Facts.net. No, there's a bunch of different. I'm gonna keep looking into it though. It's crazy. There's some wild stories. You know, like we on the last episode we talked about the golfer who hit the 512-yard shot or whatever, and it. You know, a lot of people commented actually on the TikTok about it.
They knew it, yeah.
Which was kind of. I think I've seen that on film, but I don't remember it being with a wooden club and a steel shaft. That's the thing that blows me away on it. It's not even the distance. Like I could see Bryson DeChambeau doing that all day long on a hole that works. It's the part that it was done with a wooden club and a steel shaft. I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were commenting seem to think it was lucky. So,
Of course, it was lucky.
Yeah.
It was 512 yards.
So apparently it was a 25-mile-an-hour tailwind downhill hole, and it was like he hit the cart path the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like
Respect.
that's literally hitting a drive the length of most par fives in an average course.
Right.
That's I've never even conceptualized that. I mean, that's a long way to hit a ball. You know, so that was cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
No, I love the golf facts. Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. I'm a big like trivia fun fact guy. I like that.
I'll keep it rolling, Kaluch. I'm actually enjoying looking it up. It's
very fun.
It's kind of more fun to talk about than sometimes I feel like competitive sports is. You know?
Next, we're gonna go into some. What are we watching? I thought we all watched Glass Onion. That's why I really want to do this, but I guess Will hasn't seen it yet. And it is freshly new on Netflix, so I guess maybe waiting another week to fully break it down would be better because there's a lot to talk about with that movie.
Could you give it a rating?
Out
of 10. And if you give a rookie score, we're kicking you out of this room right now.
I think Knives Out was better.
The original one?
Yeah, I liked Knives Out better. So I'd probably put this at like an 8.2 and Knives Out like an 8.7. I think they're very close.
Well, it's funny. I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah,
right in the middle.
Same.
Right
yeah.
The thing is it's one of those things where if you catch something, there's a way to catch something in the beginning or not even in the beginning, just somewhere miscellaneously, and it ruins the whole movie for you.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, obviously. You saw the movie, Colucci, but
because I thought I saw it, and then when they kind of said you didn't see that, I was like,
right.
Maybe I didn't see
Well, I never
that.
even saw the original, so do I need to go watch that
I
first?
just want you to know something that it's funny that he had that opinion. My opinion, and of course it's an opinion, is that the original Knives Out was significantly worse than
That's
this
what
movie.
That's what I heard. Yeah, because I think Marissa, she saw the original one and she wasn't like a huge fan of it. So
I did not like
when
it.
I said I wanted to watch this one, she was like, "Well, the original saw." We'll watch it, I'm sure, within the next week.
I mean, all you have to know is that Edward Norton is the star of the movie, and Edward Norton is the Italian Job. He's the Hulk. I mean, you've known him from probably a million other things. He's fantastic. And then you also have Batista, who has just risen to the top.
Yeah, he is. He's
I
probably
fucking
the
love
most.
him, dude.
I would say, who do you think's more successful post WWE? Do you think it's John? Well, The Rock was. The Rock is.
Rock is in his own
Yeah,
league.
but
You can't
so
even really.
sidebar The Rock for a second. Do you think John Cena or Batista has had a better?
Batista, because Batista's not just watched; he's loved.
Yeah.
Like John Cena has a fan base, but he's a douche in so many times. Like, even when he did that review with Prez, that pizza review, like, he's just not the same likable guy that Batista is. Like, Batista's, when he comes out and says shit, plus his acting's 10 times better.
Yeah,
am I right on that?
I love Batista.
Yeah, he's great.
I freaking love Batista.
He's in the main Disney franchise. He's got his own roller coaster, which I rode when I went there, and it, he is winning.
Yeah. Daniel Craig is in it, and he plays the main character. I mean, I guess the only reason you should watch
Specify who that is so people know. Daniel Craig is the
James Bond.
The white-haired James Bond.
Yeah, who plays he plays Benoit Blanc in this movie, and he's the detective. The only reason you would ever need to watch the first movie first is to understand that Benoit Blanc is a cool detective. That's all you would need to know. You don't need to go watch the first movie. There's literally no references.
It's completely separated.
Yeah, it's kind of like a I don't know what they call it, like an anthology. That's what it is. But it was very good. I highly recommend it on Netflix. And then I do have to throw out an old movie that I watched back 2011 release date. But it just came onto HBO Max, so I have to shout it out.
Just be quick about it. Just fire it off.
I'll just watch Our Idiot Brother with Paul Rudd.
Oh, all right. I'll give you that one. That's a great movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a very heartwarming, funny, classic Paul Rudd movie.
Highly suggest it. It just came onto HBO Max this month. Really, really good.
I want you to know that every movie on my list is completely relevant right now.
I know.
Like, I'm saying time-wise, just like for the viewing options.
That's why I kept it.
Yeah.
I kept it
Why,
short.
how do you want to do this? Let's bet, just because I have like a bunch, so I want to go through them quickly. I don't want to dive into each one.
I just have one recommendation, and then just a suggestion that I watched yesterday, I believe.
All right. You want to go first, and then we'll just switch?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So the show that I haven't watched yet that I do want to watch, it's called Poker Face. It's new on Peacock as of, I think, this week. Again, I mean, I can just run the IMDb rundown here. Is like Charlie has an extraordinary ability to determine when someone is lying. She hits the road in her Plymouth Barracuda. With every stop encounters a new cast of characters and strange crimes she can't help but solve. It's like a comedy drama, but it's got a lot of big names in it. And Peacock is kind of on like the come up with their originals, so it's something I'll give a shot. I know that the same guy maybe who directed Knives Out directed this or something like that. So it is kind of like a crossover with what we were just talking about, and that's why it came to mind. But the movie that I watched and that I liked, I think it was yesterday or Sunday, was called I See You. I think it's from 2019 or 2020, and it's actually getting big on TikTok now. Like, people are actually just finding out about it. But it's a horror thriller movie from 2019. Very interesting plot, especially for like a horror movie. I was hooked the entire time, and it has probably one of the most crazy twist endings I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Who's in this movie? What?
I See You. I didn't recognize a ton of people in it, but I guarantee you would. It's on Amazon Prime.
Helen Hunt is the main actress.
Let me see the front of it.
So either way, it was for a horror movie. It was really engaging, and it was like kind of like different from like your normal cookie cutter bullshit. It's on Amazon Prime, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 79%, which is very high for considering it's a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, it has 6.8 stars on IMDb, so that's pretty good for IMDb.
So I thought that the score that IMDb gave and Rotten Tomatoes gave was pretty indicative of what I thought as well.
Like around a 7.
Yeah, like around a 7, which again, like I said, for a horror movie is a high score in my opinion. So those are my my two what are we watching.
There's a horror movie that just hit HBO that I'm wondering if have you seen Hereditary?
Yes.
Is it actually worth watching? Because
yes.
I heard it's like one of the best horror movies of all time.
Yeah, when Marissa and I first started dating, I never watched a lot of horror movies growing up, so she just had like a freaking plethora of movies to cross off our list, and Hereditary was one of the first ones we watched.
Yeah, it's also an A24 movie. All right, I'm gonna watch that tonight. I
hate horror movies.
Yeah, apparently this movie's fucked up, so I want to watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. Solid movie.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it to come on HBO. Josh, what do you got?
So I don't know why I had so much time, but you want me to go from worst to best or best to worst?
Worst to best.
Yeah.
Worst to best, based on my rating, would be Strange World. That's the new Disney movie. You guys haven't heard or seen it?
I'm not a big Disney Plus guy. I just watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Or Marvel movies.
What? What do you, on all of Disney Plus, you watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I have to be
over and
honest.
over again.
Sometimes I want to watch the trilogy.
You too?
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
You're not watching Star Wars or like?
Oh, well,
the
that's
new
different. Like Mando,
Yeah.
and Boba Fett. Yeah, of course I'm
Oh,
watching
all right,
that
okay,
shit.
okay.
But like,
All right.
I
Well,
mean, we
you
just
just
rip-
made it sound like you only watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
no, but
Watches it every day before work.
Yeah. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. to
Dresses
watch
up as
Pirates.
Jack Sparrow.
I love the first 3 Pirates are so good.
Okay. Strange World 6.7. It's an animated. It was actually. It was about.
Is it Pixar?
They basically took a human's ecosystem, and they made a movie about it in the form of characters. I'll just leave it at that.
Wow,
it's very
Jake
intriguing.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. So I had the next one on my list as far as not good was Black. Well, not good, just worst to best. Black Adam. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Finally got around to watching it. Great action movie. You know, it was definitely different, but cookie cutter superhero film. He was pretty funny in it. I liked him in it, but not even
Didn't blow you away.
didn't blow me away.
There's some drama surrounding that movie right now because I think
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's really pissed that they threw Henry Cavill out of DC. So I think he's really upset about that.
No, he was really that's not that might be a thing, but what he was really upset about was they came out and said the movie had lost a lot of money. They said it was gonna like Warner Bros came out and said it was gonna lose $100 million, or there's somebody that came out and said that, and Dwayne basically because it's his movie, he's been working on it for 20 years.
Wow.
So yeah, like for him it was actually a really important movie, and he came out and said that it did make money and it was a whole thing. But who gives a fuck? Next movie. Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro version.
What?
Dude, I'm telling you,
he was telling
the
me about
night
this.
that Glass Onion came out on Netflix, Pinocchio was on the top 10 list ahead of it.
Yeah.
Like Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro, it is the most wild, like, it's a stop motion animation film, but it's not like any stop motion I've ever seen. The story is amazing. The characters are wild. I fucking love Pinocchio. He's rogue in this movie. Like,
Well, it's Guillermo del Toro. So.
yeah. So and for anybody that doesn't know, he did Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, and Pacific Rim. So like he's very renowned. He's probably done a bunch of other stuff too.
yeah.
But yeah. So there was that one.
Wow, Ewan McGregor's in it.
Yeah. Which is Obi-Wan Kenobi for
Kenobi.
anybody who doesn't know.
It's wild that they released 2 Pinocchio movies this year.
Right at the same time too. It's really
Yeah.
bizarre. Okay, so.
Wow. Ratings are drastically.
The next
different
one on my
between
list would have been Glass Onion 8.5. My final watch, and this is The Big Kahuna, baby. This is one that the two of you would love, and I think most people who are listening to this would go nuts for. And it is White Lotus Season 2.
I never
The
watched.
synchronized fucking deep breath sigh over here.
Everybody's talking about White Lotus. I have no idea what it is.
White Lotus. Well, actually, say what you were going to say.
Well,
first.
I've heard of White Lotus, and trust me, I've heard from 1,000 people over the last 2 years to watch it because obviously there was a season 1. Never got into it. Never watched it. Never tried. But again, it's getting to that thing with me where it's like Game of Thrones, where so many people have told me about it.
Yeah.
I just want to like shut the haters up.
Yeah.
And go fucking watch it.
Thing is, the season 1 was good, but it kind of dragged on. There were some inconsistencies that made it not as attractive as the second one. When I tell you, I watched the first episode of the second one, I started it, struggled with it, whatever. I came back and I watched it, tried it again with my mom, my sister. We watched, I think we started at like 12 in the afternoon on New Year's Eve, and we went till 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my god!
And they're hour-long episodes, and it's basically a murder mystery. They tell you in the first scene of the show who dies. Not who dies, that there's a dead person, and they give you clues in that first scene, and so you can make guesses. And then it's all taking place on White Lotus, their resorts. So like the first one's in Hawaii, the second one's in Italy. And they have different themes in the season. So like the first season was, I think, money.
Oh wait,
And
so is each season a different story?
Yes,
Oh,
with all
I
new.
love that.
Partially, second season had all new characters, but 2. So there are 2 characters that remain from season 1. So it's a different island though, with different story, the whole thing. But when I tell you that this had, and I was very awkward at points. Definitely when my dad was in the room, that was when it was most, because its second season is based on sex. So, and you know who's in it? Christopher
Moltisanti.
Moltisanti
From Sopranos.
from Sopranos, yeah.
And Aubrey Plaza.
And Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that, I'd say gas everything else on my list I just gave you and watch that. Also on my radar, which I don't know if you guys have seen, is Avatar Water. And then, Will, you had mentioned Everything Everywhere at All Once. That's something I want to try
Which
to watch.
Colucci watched, I believe, finally, too.
No, Everything All at Once.
You never watched that?
I never watched it.
Oh.
I think it just came out on. It's coming out somewhere.
It's on a streaming right now, I think. I want to say it's like HBO or something.
Yeah. You can definitely stream it. I just haven't watched it. And I remember you saying you liked it.
It's intense.
It's very intense.
It's very intense, and like it's all, like I said, it's everywhere, everything, whatever. It's all over the place, this movie. So it was kind of hard to follow at parts, but everything kind of ties together at a certain point and it makes sense. The only other thing I want to put on your guys' radar is, I don't know if you've heard about this whole hubbub about this movie called The Whale with Brendan Fraser.
I really want to watch that.
No.
And apparently, like, it's already like set in stone. Like, he's gonna get a freaking Oscar for this movie. Like, it's and it's like a big comeback for him as like as an actor, because like he kind of fell off for a while and struggled, I think, with some mental.
There's a reason why that happened. He spoke out against. He was like, I don't know all the details of the story, so I won't get into it too much because I don't want to give false information. But from what my understanding is he was sexually harassed by a higher up at a studio, and he said something about it and then was blacklisted.
Yeah, I've heard something.
So that's why everybody's
on
No fucking way.
Yes.
You mean that he's been blackballed for 10 years?
Yeah, because he spoke out against a.
Okay, so when I looked this
higher
up on streaming, I was looking up like best, just to like refresh my memory of like different movies that are out there. I saw this everywhere.
The Whale.
This picture of him on the front.
Yeah.
What is good with this? Please tell me he doesn't actually weigh that right now.
No. It was like he plays like.
I think he gained a lot of weight for the role, but I don't think that much weight. I
No.
think some of it is added on.
He looks really, really rough, man.
He got like a 6-minute standing ovation at one of the film festivals.
No way.
Like cons or something.
Which, ironically enough, like you think 6 minutes is really long, but I think the longest standing ovation is like 21 minutes or something like that. So
it's kind of like a weird thing that they do at these festivals. They see how long each movie can get a standing ovation. It's really, really dumb.
But The Whale got 6 minutes, and like there's a really like heartwarming video of him like standing and like crying because like it's this big comeback and like the movie did so well. And
is this theaters or is this
theaters?
It's in select theaters right now.
I need to see this.
It's from what I've heard about it, and I'm okay with it because I like these movies sometimes, but it's a cry fest, is what it is.
I don't want to watch this with my parents or my siblings. Like, I want to watch it alone so I can cry in peace.
Yes, 100%. I'm very excited to watch.
I for some reason I forgot about it for like 2 weeks, and now
what's awesome is like there's so much hype around this movie. I was like, it's probably not going to do as good as everybody's saying it is. And then so far, every review that I've read or every video I've seen about it, they're like, it is that good.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking unbelievable.
And the only reason why I had so many movies on this list is because we really haven't done one to be watching in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, we had to do a catch up.
So as of me catching up a little bit, I won't do as many in the next time.
I'm very glad that you brought up The White Lotus because I need a new TV series to sink my teeth into.
Yeah, why would you ever watch Lord of the Rings, the highest fucking budgeted show in the history?
Well, because last night I made a mistake, but I think you might explode if I tell you. But I started watching Fear the Walking Dead, which is the Walking Dead spin-off series, and it's really good.
And that is the end of T-Box Talk episode 37.
I mean, dude, I don't.
Fear the Walking Dead is still happening right now.
I'm telling you, I want you to know something. I want you to know something. There will be a day where, in whatever world I live in, I'm successful enough to hire a psychologist to study you and to figure out what the fuck makes you tick, because I can't even.
Fear the Walking Dead is a good show. It starts from the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, so you get to watch the world unravel. It's really cool.
Will, you might have to hold me back one of these days. You know?
You could always put a restraining order on.
I'm gonna put it on pause. I'm gonna watch White Lotus because I love murder mysteries and I love it's called an anthology when each season is a different story. I love that type of show because there's a beginning, middle, and end, and then you start again, beginning, middle, and end. That's what I like a lot. So I'm very excited to watch The White Lotus. And that is going to conclude What Are We Watching? A lot of good things going on there. And it's going to bring us into our final segment, the stand-up segment. Last week went really well. I'm nervous for this week. I'm going to give it my best shot, though. Bagel, you go first.
Okay, I got a quick one here, but it is kind of like it's not, I guess it's an original, yeah. So I'm staying on the trend of outdated technology, like we talked about last week with telephone poles being just a waste of life. I noticed this, and it's something I've noticed before in my life, but I noticed it as I was sitting on the toilet over the New Year's weekend.
Half of Will's jokes.
Yeah, I was going to say
on
your
the
best
toilet.
thinking time.
Well, poop is, it's a very prominent thing in my life, I guess. Why is it that bad? I don't know why I worded it like a fucking
Is that the joke? Because that was great.
I don't know why I worded it like a Jeopardy question. Why is it that bathroom tissue companies haven't found a better way to seal a fresh roll of toilet paper? I mean, for me, it's an epidemic because time after time, I'm sitting on the toilet, my legs are going numb, and I'm absolutely mangling the first 5 layers of a new TP roll.
Oh, I know exactly
now I
what
know
you're
he's
talking
Trying
about.
to get the toilet paper just to peel normally, And it's impossible. And I can't even remember the last time I did get 100% worth of a roll.
Never.
And of course, by the time the roll peels normally, there's a rat's nest of paper scraps at my feet. And I just wasted probably 3 to 5 wipes worth of toilet paper. So in an economy where toilet paper is expensive, every ply counts.
Yeah. You're burning like, I don't even know, a quarter of that roll trying to get it to be even. I mean,
Just try
And then
to
sometimes
get one
frustrated.
and then you just fucking rip it open.
Yeah.
you'd think that there would be something that could. I'll tell you what. There's a new company idea right there. You just identified another problem. Will's just coming out with multi-million-dollar ideas.
Please don't listen to this podcast.
That was good, Will.
That is fucking funny. I'll go next. So I'm in a situation right now because I told my parents for Christmas that I was a size 32 waist, and
What?
it turns out I'm not a size 32 waist.
I'm a 4.
Yeah, I'm a 35.
I guess I have body dysmorphia because I was like, I'm a 32 waist, Ma, Dad. Like, you got to get me a 32 pants if you get me anything like that. So my dad got me a pair of pants, size 32. They don't even come close to fitting. Like,
You'd probably be swimming in a 32.
swimming. And I don't know how to return gifts. I don't like returning gifts. I don't like telling them not to do that. So I think I'm just going to belt it up and just suck it up, like, and just wear
Coach's
32.
Walking around with a pair of Junko jeans on from 1999.
Yeah, I can't. I love that. He walks up to a girl at a bar and he's got like 6 belt loops like looped up and they're up to his fucking nipples, dude. And he's just like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?"
But here's the issue
Hey,
now.
dick skin, can Hey, dick skin, can I buy you a drink?
Shout out Letterkenny. Back to what are we watching? Letterkenny season 12. Watch it now. If you want,
Hey, dick skin, can I buy you a drink?
if you want to know what Dick Skin is referencing, that would be Letterkenny. Fantastic show. And I did accidentally call my friend Dick Skin in the middle of a bar once, and an entire group of girls was standing right next to me, and they looked back like, "What the fuck are you saying right now?"
Yeah, but this time around, he's going to have 6 more belt loops and about 16 inches of ply there.
Well,
And no feeling in his legs.
issue. Here's the issue. I'm also not a size 30 anymore because I went to Zoomies to buy some skinny pants, and I bought my size 30s because that's what I thought I was. And I was like, didn't even try them on. I was like, I know the 32s are too big. I'm good. I'm good. I'm at my friend's house. We're getting ready to go out to New Year's Eve. And like, for some reason, I decided, like, I think I was watching a game or something. So I just changed in front of my friends. Like, I changed out of my sweatpants into what I thought was going to be fitting skinny pants. And in front of a group of like 4 of my friends, I got up to about my thighs and it was just like, nothing. And they all looked at me like, dude, those are not going to fucking fit you. I was trying to fit into these little Skeletor pants in front of everybody. I ended up falling down. It was a little disaster.
That's perfect. I am curious, though. 32. You're not 32. You're not 30. So what are you?
I think I just got to stop trying to buy the skinny Skeletor pants.
Oh, yeah. It's probably you're just buying like, yeah.
But
well, I mean,
I could be a 31, but it's so hard to find.
Odd sizes are always hard to
odd
find.
sizes.
I feel like
they don't sell.
Lulu are more normal fitting to the
I don't got
sizes.
the fucking money for Lulu.
What about Fabletics? I mean, they're the whole model of Fabletics is Lulu, but way cheaper.
The only
Maybe I'll
pants
check
that
it out.
I've found that fit true to size are Levi's.
Really?
So I've literally just worn Levi's for my entire life.
I usually like there's a company called Empire that sells the Skeletor pants that I usually fit into. That's what they call.
Skeletor?
That's what
Oh,
they call
really?
it. It's called Skeletor.
Oh my god, that's a horrible name for a pair of pants.
It's like saying they're skinny.
Sounds like
unless
Halloween.
unless you're like trying to get the goth crowd, which I guess they accomplished that.
Nothing wrong with a goth crowd.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I used to attract all the goth girls at the mall. It was awesome. It was a good. Time.
really?
Yeah, you were there. You were a witness in middle school when I was wearing my Slipknot shirts. Yeah, I used to attract.
I remember you flirting with Matt, the guy that the guy that worked at Brookstone. Andrew.
No. You're thinking about Keith from the fucking.
Oh, it's Keith. Sorry, Keith.
No, there's a guy. There was this is the weirdest thing we've
Keith
ever
is
done
worse.
as a friend group. And as I look back on it, I start to question a little thing about Keith. We, for some reason, got obsessed with this guy who worked at the mall named Keith. We got his fucking phone number and he gave it to us for some reason. We were in like 6th grade and we would like talk to Keith all the time. And like, he was a young guy. We would just like call him and stuff. Very weird. Now that I look back on it, Keith didn't work at the mall too much longer. But Josh, what do you got for us?
I just want to note that I felt like I had some good quips throughout you guys' segment because this is a suck ass joke.
You're a reaction guy. You're a reaction guy.
Yeah, I mean, this just isn't that good of a joke. But I will also say on this joke is that I'm not like well rehearsed on it, so forgive me. But I also don't know if people can handle it.
Just fucking do it.
When I was younger, actually when we were younger, and I don't know, you can speak to this. They never really had like
I'm Benjamin Button. I'm sorry. I aged backwards.
They never really had like sex education courses. You know, like I didn't have sex ed classes at all.
Really?
Yeah, did you?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
We
got
didn't.
In 5th grade, we watched the video about the.
I'm not talking about biology 101 in the
yeah.
5th grade when they show you a dick on screen.
Yeah.
I'm talking like there was never
Actual
like,
sex ed. We never had that.
Yeah, there was never any sex ed.
We also went to Catholic school.
I think we just called it health class. Like we didn't call it like
Right.
sex ed. Yeah.
Right. And for me, I always thought that was weird, but I didn't ever really I was never upset with it. And it was wasn't until I was 25 that I really got fucking pissed off. You know, I got really upset that we never had sex ed because all along I haven't been using the ultra thin condoms. I was always too afraid to use the ultra thin condoms. And man, they're so much better than the other ones. So that was the joke. The fuck sex ed for fucking me up with
What
those
would
thick
sex ed teach you about condoms?
That's the joke, Lucci.
Well,
The joke is that they would never teach that, but that's what I wanted out of a sex ed course.
all the condoms we got in sex ed, we just filled up with water and threw at each other. So I don't think we learned much either.
Yeah. I wanted, they should have told me that it's safe to use Trojan Ultra Thin.
All right.
All right, condom talk.
Condom talk.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny as fuck. The thought that like sex ed, man. But what really it is kind of wild that we never had sex ed. Am I wrong in that?
No, we only watched The Beautiful Boy and the Fantastic Female or something. Under The Magnificent Male and the Fantastic Female.
Really?
That was the biology video that we watched.
What grade was that?
5th grade.
Yeah, we were like 5th or 6th grade, I think.
Yeah.
That was 4th grade. Why do I know this? Because some things happened right after I watched this.
Did you make a joke?
No, I went home and discovered the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And then my mom fucking caught not me doing anything in my room, but
the search history.
The search history. That was before the time of
Are
fucking...
you mad that sex ed didn't teach you about deleting your search history too?
Yeah. I should have known better to put that in my fucking bit, but yeah.
Every kid. I actually never.
And then I blamed, she got all upset with me, and I really didn't give a fuck because I was like, sorry, Ma, that's just me. I'm gonna be.
I'm a boy, Mom.
I'm a boy. Like, don't have a boy.
Growing up.
You're a boy in your formative years.
Yeah, and then I also
I
blamed
it on
her.
the teacher?
Yeah, I blamed her because I was like, I needed an out. I needed an alibi. Like, I wasn't gonna. She's like, So I was like, yeah, that fucking girl. She's showing me all this stuff in biology. I'm seeing dicks and vaginas, and I'm like, I gotta go check that out. So I did.
Gotta check it out.
Gotta do my research.
Gotta do my research.
Josh was always the best at getting us out of trouble when we were younger. We used to smoke cigars like in middle school, right? And
Nice black
one
and
time
mild.
we were caught red-handed by his mom, red-handed. And she goes, why do you smell like cigarettes? And he goes, Ma, it was the workers outside were smoking cigarettes. We were just hanging out on the balcony. There were no workers. And he was like, no, they just left. They went over there. Like, they're gone now.
Well, to be fair, like my house was constantly.
It was
being
always
worked
under
on.
construction. So
The
it
quick
was a great
thinking.
play.
The only time I ever fucked up was when we got caught by the police running out of a party in the middle of Woonsocket. That was the only time I never really had. I didn't have an alibi. Like we said we were going to McDonald's, and then when he asked us where we at the party that we were at, and we were running from the cops and everything.
Yeah, and also didn't help that the fucking freight train was wearing
that.
a
Well,
gel-
actually, it's
yeah,
funny
that's why we
that
got caught.
now I think about it, you're right. It wasn't even my reaction. It was that one of the kids, multiple of the kids, maybe even, were wearing the alcohol they found at the party, which was in the form of Jello shots.
Yeah, he had a Jello shot stain on his shirt.
The best thing was when he asked. He asked our buddy Kyle. He was like, "Oh, so you guys weren't at the party?" He's like, No, we weren't at the party. And he's like literally looks down at his shirt and he goes, "So where'd you find the Jello shots on your shirt from the party we just had?" And he literally was stunned. There was no words coming out of his mouth. And I tried to cover and just like make up bullshit. And
Well, if you remember how that went down, we all then covered for you because you actually didn't drink.
Oh, everybody just fell on their sword really quickly. It was
Yeah.
it was a big like, oh yeah, but he didn't drink. We all did, but he didn't drink.
Because we thought we were going to get like arrested for drinking for some reason. I don't know why we thought that. But yeah, and we also we were trying to lie to the cops.
I want you to know that when they broke that party up, they put kids in more danger than they did fucking help them. Trust me.
Well, we put
Yeah.
ourselves in danger by running.
Well, what else you gonna do?
Yeah, I know.
I never got caught.
Okay, here you go, officer. Here's my hands. Just put me in cuffs.
It was actually really scary. That I led a group into the woods. There was a few kids.
I know
following
this is
me,
what I'm referring to. Yeah.
and I almost ran off a cliff, and I would have sent everybody else with
How
me.
big was that cliff?
You know the cliff in the back of his house?
I'm trying
Off
to. I've
the
been
side.
for 10 years. I've been trying to
I
remember.
caught myself on a branch. I was the scariest thing that's ever happened. It wasn't like a cliff, but it was like a big hill.
Like 30 feet.
It was a big 30-foot hill.
Okay.
I would have rolled down it, probably got really hurt because there was a bunch of trees.
Right.
And everybody else behind me would have run right off of
Right.
it too. Yeah, fucked up situation. But we got caught. We tried to say, "Oh, we're just walking to McDonald's."
Oh, I never got caught drinking, and this I guess could be like my final stand-up bit, but when I was younger, I think 16 or 17, it was definitely Thanksgiving because my sister was home from college. She had a friend with her. I had family staying at the house, my aunt and uncle who are from New York City. And it's the only time I've ever got caught, and it was pot related. But we went out for a Thanksgiving walk. I'm going to do Thanksgiving walk in quotations, but it was my parents had already gone to bed. My aunt and uncle are still up. They stay up until 1 a.m. So we're like, my sister's like, we're going to go to Wendy's. So we drove to Wendy's. Really, we didn't go to Wendy's. We just drove around in circles and smoked pot. And we get back home, and I'm like, fuck, my aunt and uncle are still up. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go immediately in and make a bagel and cream cheese. So I walk in the door. I walk right over to the toaster and the bagels. I cut up a bagel. I put it in the toaster. I hit the toaster button. And my aunt just turns around and goes, "So how was Wendy's?"
Well, that is classic. That's like definitely the first thing that you should do to be safe coming in from pot smoking is fire up a bagel with cream cheese.
After you just said you were going to get food.
That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I like that a lot. That's good, man.
And with that said, that's going to wrap up episode 37 of T-Box Talk. Thank you so much for joining, and a Happy New Year to everybody. Jump on our email list. We are less than a couple months away for some new products dropping. We are very excited about all that's going on. Follow us on Instagram at T-Box Talk Pod or at OMADA Golf. Follow us on TikTok as well under those same handles. Check out the full video episodes on YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a family member. And thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend.
See ya.